Story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello everyone, this is CoreTV News on the Hour with Nifemi Oguntoye. President Goodluck Jonathan says Nigeria would be a better country in the next 4 years with the type of policy his administration has put in place. The president, who spoke at the Christ Apostolic Church in Durume area of Abuja, added that he hopes to continue to put the country in the path of progress. This, according to him, is in spite of the challenges the government has had to contend with. President Jonathan, however, urged Nigerians to continue to uphold his administration in prayers. The All Progressives Congress has assured Nigerians too and the international community that it will do all it can to make sure that the 2015 general election is violence-free, saying the rising apprehension about the polls among the populace is inimical to the conduct of a successful election. In a statement issued in Lagos on Sunday by its National Publicity Secretary, Lai Mohammed, the party, however, called on the PDP-led federal government to complement its efforts. The party says the call became necessary due to what it described as the propensity of the PDP-led federal government to use security agencies to harass and intimidate ordinary Nigerians. As the people of Ekiti State over the week celebrates Christmas, the Ekiti South Senatorial District of the state is still busy battling with fallout of the senatorial primaries that has been conducted 4 times now without any winner emerging. The delegates and some aspirants, which led a protest to the party's headquarters in Ado-Ekiti, accused the party leadership of alleged moves toward imposing a candidate on the district, while the party also tries to ward off the big stick of INEC's deadline. Rashid has details of the report.
While most Nigerians were busy celebrating Christmas, these people have chosen the primaries of the Ekiti South Senatorial District of the All Progressives Congress ahead of merriment. And even at that, tempers flare when it became obvious that the primaries would not hold, making it the 4th consecutive time the primaries will be botched. This led to a mass protest from Ikere, the senatorial headquarters of Ekiti South Senatorial District, to the capital, Ado-Ekiti.
These are people that went to the venue where they said that these are the delegates went to the venue where they said the election would hold again, and they're getting frustrated because this is about the 5th time that they be called out to do this voting, and they keep rejecting.
But for the intervention of a combined team of security forces, the peaceful protest would have degenerated into full-blown violence as the party executives were not spared the anger of the protesting delegates. With the state party executives not ready to speak to the press due to the situation on ground, these delegates said the party leadership is making sinister moves toward imposition.
I've been waiting since 9 a.m. This is the 4th time, but I know the applause is to impose the incumbent or not, because we had the money at the exchanges and they want to impose him on the party. And this is a man that we know clearly cannot win a award in his own town. That's Senator Tony Adeni. So all efforts to impose Tony will just destroy APC in the Ekiti state. Displeased
with the manner the primaries has been handled, Ayoleke Adu says the leadership must work to guard against imposition.
The party is in a very, very dear situation in Ekiti state. So we all have to be very careful. And that is why we are saying they can't be in position. The people themselves are saying they cannot be in position whatsoever.
As INEC's deadline draws closer, the primaries has again been scheduled for Monday, but the protesters will hope that it is concluded this time. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
Meanwhile, candidates of the APC have met with party leadership in Ondo State to discuss ways to ensure the success of the party in the 2015 general elections. This is coming a few days after a similar meeting between the executives of the party in the state. State chairman of the party, Isaac Kekemeke, spoke to newsmen after the meeting on the rationale behind the gathering and how the party is preparing for the 2015 general elections in the state.
Today we have met with the winners. We have examined the complaints of some of the complaints that the aspirants who didn't win talked about. And we have also strategized, we have looked at it, and we have unanimously resolved that everyone who has a ticket will translate that ticket into an electoral victory. So that's good, that's good, that's good.
It's important we work together. And we have also resolved from constituency to work together. You know, we are very, very prepared to take over the government, both at the state level here and at the federal level. And we cannot do that one without unity of purpose. That's what we have come to do here.
Even before now, we had even resolved to accommodate the other people that contested. I won't say they lost because there was no actual, because we believe that it was an in-house thing. It was an in-house thing. Nobody has lost. It's a family affair, and we are all winners in this matter. So we had, even before now, had meetings.
The All Progressives Congress says former President Olusegun Obasanjo is sympathetic to the cause of the party because of his desire for positive change in 2015. Deputy National Chairman North of the party, Lawal Shuaibu, discussed this in an interview with reporters in Abuja. He says the former president, who is still an active member of the ruling People's Democratic Party, like most Nigerians, is desirous of an end to maladministration and impunity. According to him, while it's true that Obasanjo is not a card-carrying member of the APC, his interest in bringing about a positive change in the way things are done is glaring. He says he sees nothing wrong with the APC receiving members of the PDP who have come to realize their mistakes, noting that the party has put in place machinery to ensure its code of conduct is not breached at any time. He, however, assured Nigerians that the party will observe strictly its constitution and manifesto as well as ensure party supremacy, while also adding that the party is not worried by the huge war chest of 21 billion naira raised by President Goodluck Jonathan for his re-election bid. The NASFAT Society of Nigeria has offered a special prayer for the peace and prosperity of Nigeria. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, who attended the prayer session, has the details.
The prayer was held at the Society's praying ground along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, with special guest of honor Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amosun, represented by his Chief of Staff Abdulganiu Olatunde, saying that prayer is the key for peace in any nation. He urged all Nigerians to imbibe the spirit of prayer and good behavior to move the nation forward.
We need to pray to Almighty Allah for guidance, because there is nothing that prayers cannot surmount. If we have a plethora of problems, by the time you go spiritual about it, majority of the problems will be solved.
Speaking in the same vein, President of NASFAT, Bolarinwa Kamil, says Nigerians must live in peace.
When there is no peace, we cease to exist. Where there is no peace, you can't go to work. You can't do your daily duties. So we need to pray, not only when we come to a place like this, even in our homes, when we wake up in the morning, we must pray for peace in Nigeria.
Ahead of the 2015 general elections, Abdullahi Akimbode, Chief Missioner of NASFAT, and Dawood Amou, guest lecturers, say Nigerians must cooperate to achieve good governance at all levels.
We must perform our civic duty. That is the first admonition I have for Nigerians. When you are asked to vote, you are asked to perform your responsibility as a citizen of this nation.
Electioneering time is a particularly critical period in the history of Nigeria. And as Nigerians, every one of us is a stakeholder. And as a leader for one of the major religions in Nigeria, we call for calm.
The society also urges Nigerians to continue to be steadfast in prayer for peace to reign in the country. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Ogun.
Now, and I'll be back with more stories after now. Don't go away.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digi 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Welcome back. You can also get all of our top stories on any of our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/CoreTV News. Our Twitter handle is at CoreTV News NG. And we're streaming live on YouTube. It's youtube.com/CoreTV, the space, and news. Moving on now, the First Lady, Patience Jonathan, has solicited the support of Abians and Indigo in general for the re-election bid of her husband, President Goodluck Jonathan. Patience Jonathan, who was speaking at a grand civic reception for her by a maternal kinsman of Ohu clan in Umuahia North Council of Abia State, says a vote for Jonathan would guarantee sustainable transformation of the country. She was also honored with the chieftaincy title of Nkalari at the event, which also doubled as a fundraising and groundbreaking ceremony of Ohuhu Ultra-Modern Civic Center. The First Lady noted that her husband has the interest of Indigo and Nigeria at heart, saying that he has shown enough commitment to give the people of the Southeast a sense of belonging. A pressure group in Abia State, the Abia Professional Forum, has warned that the People's Democratic Party risks losing Abia State to the opposition in 2015 if concrete steps are not taken by the leadership of the party at the state and national levels to pacify aggrieved aspirants following the recent governorship primary of the party. The group, made up of people who are also leading members of Abia State chapter of the PDP, disclosed this in reaction to recent appeal by President Goodluck Jonathan and National Chairman of the PDP, Adamu Mohazu, to aspirants who are dissatisfied with the result of the recent primaries not to defect to opposition parties. In a statement signed by Samu Nukwe, its president, the group advised leaders of PDP to go beyond mere appeal if the party will not suffer for the mismanagement of its primaries in the February 2015 general elections. Meanwhile, Southwest leaders of the People's Democratic Party say they are working on a strategy to ensure the victory of President Goodluck Jonathan in the 2015 general elections. The communique read at the end of the Southwest meeting held in Akure, the Ondo State capital, by Ondo State Governor Olusegun Mimiko. The regional leaders of the party commended Jonathan for putting in place structures and institutions through which the country has evolved a cashless financial system, dismantled the fertilizer corruption cartel, and improved food security.
It discussed, among other things, the urgent need to re-energize party structures in all Southwest states towards winning the 2015 presidential and other elections. At the end of the deliberation, we, the leaders of PDP in the Southwest, resolve as follows: that Mr. President, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, GCFR, and the presidential candidate of the great PDP for the 2015 presidential election be commended for yielding to the yearnings of the generality of the leaders and members of our great party in accepting to run as the party's candidate for the 2015 presidential election in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. 2. That Mr. President Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, be commended for his commitment and dogged efforts in fighting the menace of insecurity, and noted that in spite of these security challenges, Mr. President has made remarkable progress in the Nigerian economy, particularly in the areas of power, transport, job creation, education, aviation, agriculture, 35% of formative actions should be intervention, youth empowerment, and direct foreign investment.
The governorship candidate of the PDP in Lagos, Jimmy Agbaje, has announced Furat Abdul Karim as his running mate for the 2015 election in the state. Agbaje made this known in a statement signed on his behalf by his Director of Publicity, Felix Obuagwagina. He says the running mate Abdul Karim is a trained teacher, an accountant who is married to a retired Air Force officer. She was also running mate to late Funshaw Williams in 2003. The statement also quoted her as saying that she would work to complement her principal and assist in ushering into Lagos a refreshing atmosphere devoid of state-brewed intimidation and human rights abuses. Describing the PDP's chances in the governorship polls of Lagos as very bright, the deputy governorship candidate said she and Agbaje were entering the race at a time when Lagosians wanted to break the shackles of subjugation that had held them down for 16 years. While speaking against the background of the decision by the federal government to tackle the threat posed by the alleged incursion of the Islamic State militant recruiters into the country, President of NASFAT, Bolarinwa Kamil, says terrorists are just hiding under the Islamic religion. He says Islam abhors violence in any form, and the terrorism is nothing but an anti-Islamic ideology.
Terrorists are terrorists. They don't need religion. They don't need any state. They are just terrorists. If we all agree that we have terrorists and it's all over the world, what do we do to terrorists? We must find a way of putting them out of action. Government is capable. We pray that government will have the will to do what has to be done quickly to ensure that terrorism is a thing of the past in Nigeria.
While more than 100 suspected Boko Haram militants have been killed with over 200 arrested during an operation conducted by the Cameroonian army on Friday night in far north region of Cameroon, an army source reported on Saturday. The operation took place in Double, a place in the far north region bordering Nigeria, and was conducted by Cameroon Air Force and the Rapid Intervention Battalion, an elite army unit stationed in the north. During the operation, 3 Cameroonian Air Force pilots were seriously injured. The source said while on the same night 23 Cameroonian civilians were killed and a village burnt by suspected Boko Haram militants in Mozogo in the far north region. Suspected Boko Haram militants who are active in the north of Cameroon often attack villages in the area, pillaging property of villagers and sometimes taking foreign and local people as hostages. And at least 24 states have dumped the pay-as-you-go pension scheme for the contributory pension scheme for their workers. A record of the CPS implementation update by state governments, which was obtained from the National Pension Commission, confirmed this development. According to the Commission, 12 other states are at various stages of implementing the scheme, while one state is yet to commence the process. Lagos State, which first dropped the old pension scheme for the CPS, is already in the process of amending its Pension Reform Law 2007, following the amendment of the National Pension Reform Act 2004. Director General, Lagos State Pension Commission, Rotimi Hussain, says the state is looking at the complete review of the amended Pension Reform Act 2014 and comparing its items with the State Pension Reform Law of 2007. Outside Nigeria, rescuers looking for the missing Air Asian Indonesia airliner flying from Singapore to Indonesia with 162 people on board have called off rescue efforts due to darkness and unfavorable weather conditions. Flight QZ8501 and Airbus A320-200 lost contact with air traffic control at around 6:20 local time over the Java Sea, midway into the flight of more than 2 hours from the city of Surabaya. Planes from Indonesia and Singapore had been scouring an area of sea between Kalimantan and Java, but have called off the search for the night due to bad weather, while some boats are reported to be continuing the search as night falls. The flight, which left the Indonesian city of Surabaya in eastern Java at 5:20 local time, was due to arrive in Singapore at 8:30. Air Asia, a budget airline which owns 490F Air Asia Indonesia, is based in Malaysia and has never lost a plane before, with owner of English Premier League side Tony Fernandes, the owner of the group, tweeting to thank people for their support while also encouraging relatives of those on board and the staff to stay strong. This current crisis rounds up a difficult year for airlines in Asia, with Malaysia's national carrier Malaysia Airlines suffering 2 losses, flights MH370 and MH17. And that wraps it this hour on CoreTV News. Join us again at the top of the hour for more stories. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Thanks for being there.